So next up we have Elizabeth Bachinsky, all the way out from Vancouver, British Columbia. I think, what, formerly of the Prairies?
I was born in Regina.
Born in Regina, oh my God. It's from Elizabeth's new book, The Hottest Summer in Recorded History, that the tour takes its name. And this is Elizabeth's fourth book. Her second. Oh, that's right, it's the fifth book. Now, I think why I say fourth is because her last one, 2012's I Don't Feel So Good, squeaked under a lot of radars. In a lot of the bios I was reading, it was not being mentioned. Now, if you want to corner Elizabeth and ask her about the construction of this, I Don't Feel So Good from 2012, apparently she used a method similar to the I Ching to decide what entries from her journals between 1986 and 2000 would be included in a book that existed before it existed. So after that, we have The Hottest Summer in Recorded History. Now, in reading Elizabeth's writing and what I've read of it, I can think of no better way to describe it other than kind and generous. I'm a very socially awkward person. I don't do well at parties. I don't do well with people I don't know. And Elizabeth's writing reminds me of being invited to someone that I kind of know and being shown around. I get the feeling in The Hottest Summer in Recorded History that I'm coming to Elizabeth's party, it's full of all of her friends, and she's introducing me, finding ways that we can get along, finding ways that we can communicate. And I don't know, it's a good time. I know some of these people that are involved in these poems. I don't know if anybody knows David Bachinsky. I know he hit a few out of the park reading in Guelph. So you'll find David and some, I don't know, I want to assume drunken instant messages between David and Elizabeth in The Hottest Summer in Recorded History. I'm pleased as hell to have her, and I hope you guys are likewise.
Hi there. Oh, that is so sweet. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. I'm just really honored to be here, and really honored to be traveling with Vivek and Tamara and Amber Dawn, who are all just amazing, amazing writers. So please, check out their work. I'm going to be reading to you tonight from The Hottest Summer in Recorded History, and yeah, that's what I'm going to do. This is called You Know What Readers Like, and it's for my husband, Blake Smith. I can see now that I was once quite feral. Getting older was my education in becoming civilized. Also, being married to you. That was the decade of cleaning our things in the nude so as not to ruin our clothes with all that bleach. We couldn't replace anything. When something broke, it was broken, we were broke. I bought you a bullwhip and some hot sauce and some tiny wooden armadillos and some tropical fish magnets that wiggled when you opened and closed the door of the fridge. You bought me a space heater. Like Peter Q's Mrs. Bailey, I like to think I had a strong sense of what my position was and what was proper. On 2 occasions, I shit myself, once when sick and once when aroused. And here, I'm thinking of Tess, not the cat we sat, but the fictional girl hanging from the fictional tree. I appreciated it when you reminded me how easily I can become bored. It's true, I do need a challenge. A teenager is like a scarlet runner bean. It will wind around whatever trellis you do or don't provide. Sometimes it is satisfying to make a howling sound that comes straight from the diaphragm. You know what the diaphragm is? Ennui. The educated say, ennui. Your father is a machinist. I know what he does in theory. And you can build a train wreck, though why anyone would want to build a train wreck is unclear to most. I get it. Baby, we're so private. And here I'm thinking of my grandmother in assisted living in Regina. Her TV so quiet as to be imperceptible, the ghost in her china. You are the first person I ever heard say the word hubris. Your parents are social democrats. Your mother gave me Upton Sinclair's The Jungle, and then I knew what Howlin' Wolf meant by the killing floor. You took me for sushi. I bought a plastic harmonica in the shape of an ear of corn. The first time you licked my pussy, I was sure. The first time you kissed my mouth, I wasn't. We did everything backwards. You didn't seem to mind. Often I would come home from my coffee shop job and just sob. After so much violence, it has become radical to become a soft critic, to write poems about horses. I bought some glow-in-the-dark zombie finger puppets and a plastic paparazzi playset and an antique marionette in the shape of an ostrich called my favorite pet. I hope not to suffer from what in certain circles is referred to as a wet brain. Horse, for Michael Turner. For you, I'll recall walking to the barn to ride my horse, Biscuit. 1991. I wore a white blouse that tied at the throat and Mom's brown leather coat with tangles of suede dangling from the sleeves. I was 13. See the camel-colored jodhpurs, the tall black riding boots, my brown hair tied up in a ponytail, and me taking big steps through the suburb? It didn't take long to cut out to the fields where Mom boarded the thoroughbred. I went there after school, but sometimes I'd arrive and realize what I'd forgot. So I'd tack him up and ride him back through the subdivision where horses couldn't go, careful not to leave a hoof print on the neighbor's lawn. I'd tie him to a streetlight and go inside. For you, I'd like to take a picture of that. The empty subdivision at 3:15 in the afternoon on a Wednesday, those rows of identical homes, brand new as they all were then, those pastel colors, you know the kind, and the beige vinyl siding and the brand new green lawns like postage stamps licked and stuck to the earth out front. No trees, just a raised cow field where developers built and we moved in. This picture is huge. Pull back. See my bay tied by the reins to the street lamp? From here, he is small, impatient, wanting to snip at the grass with his enormous, flat, white teeth, but he can't. He's caught up. He lifts one wide front hoof and brings it down on the asphalt, a clop like two heavy blocks coming together in an auditorium. Then he stamps that hoof again, my big dark horse, waiting for me to come on back outside. I'm from Maple Ridge, British Columbia, which is a suburb just outside of Vancouver, about an hour and 20 minutes outside of Vancouver. And there's a lake out there called Silvermere Lake. So I wrote this poem. Does anyone here remember Telly Savalas? Telly Savalas? Telly Savalas, anyone? Yeah. Thanks. All right, this poem is called Who Loves Ya, Baby? Eliot was right. It's useless to describe a feeling. Much better to describe Silvermere Lake, that shallow man-made lake at the mouth of the Fraser Valley where I'm from. Sometime, I'll drive you by it. The lake with the island Telly Savalas owned, then lost in the 80s. I don't often think of Kojak, but when I do, I see Savalas standing in a smoking jacket at the window of his island home that overlooks Mount Baker and Iron Mountain and the cool, flat, designer surface of Silvermere, a lake 3 feet deep at its deepest, ringed with lilies, choked with ragweed, but real pretty, so long as you're not swimming in it or trying to stand in the water. Here your legs sink in through endless trucked-in silt, fine as dust, slick with goose shit. The smooth mud sucks at your feet till they pop from the muck like corks at the shore. No Ithaca, sir. No Catalina. But the kind of muck hole into which you could sink and be preserved for eternity. Up Up the highway is where the government dug for bodies in the runoff. From here, you can check a rocket lane. Go ahead and grow weed. The cops can't keep up. But Internal Revenue will surely find you. I'm going to read 2 more poems for you. One is called Charger, and it's for my high school boyfriend, Rick Tucker. Rick Tucker. Okay, Charger. What kind of car was that? The kind you used to drive when we were kids and dated for a while? You called it a muscle car. I never drove it. It was standard and I couldn't drive standard yet. Plus, you were 6'2". I couldn't reach the pedals even when you'd ram the driver's seat as close to the steering wheel as it could go. You never drove it fast. You drove it slow, but the engine grabbed whatever juice you gave and gobbled it. You tapped your foot. It hopped. For the next few years, my boyfriends hated you. I'd remember. Tell them how we used to love. Oh, wow. You broke my heart. Remember? The leather interior. The black dash. Was it a Charger? And the last poem I'll read for you tonight is called Nails. And I'm reading it because these guys really like it. And it's also for Amber Dawn, who had her nails. Got her nails did in Montreal. They look real nice, so make sure you compliment her, okay? All right. Nails, for Danielle Devereaux in St. John's, Newfoundland. I'm looking for a place that's just called Nails. There's always some place that's just called Nails. In every city and suburb, they'll do your nails. They don't do waxing. All they do is nails. Doesn't look fancy. Smells like nails. Not a spa, no massage, just your nails. And a gal talks smack while she files your nails as the rain comes down outside like nails on the roof of this place that's just called Nails. You're in good hands. Just look at her nails. Where the working girls go to get their nails. Where the travelers go to get their nails. Have you seen this place? It's just called Nails. There's a neon light outside that says Nails. Thank you so much.